Hey guys, this is Rob speaking, and today we are on a mission to conquer new markets, or new demographics rather. Overall it's going really well for the economy right now, especially if we look in the relevant regions. As you can see, luxury segment is sky high, and it's not going to come down that much, I think. Because this was the most terrible depression ever, and after the depression we had a pretty good swing recovery. As you see, we are still on an uptrend. We had this just minor correction here, and I think there will be just a minor downturn here, bigger correction than this one certainly, but just a minor one. And then we will level out a little bit, and this overall is a really high level. And seeing that we are tapping into all these markets nicely, and in Frenia we are even covering completely different ones, and we will soon be able to export some cars that are not sold in Frenia by amping up our production levels. And I think what we can do is to get into the premium segment, which is a little difficult because our prestige rating may suffer, but on the other hand, we can then tap into this market, which is 3,200 cars a month, and probably this market too, which is 540 cars a month right now. That sounds really good to me. That is basically 5 times our current market size, or not quite, 4 times the current market size we are serving. That probably holds a lot of profits. So now we need to design a car for that, and need to find a good body shell for it too. Oh yeah, I think we are going to go for this one. It's really large, it has convertible versions, and it has a two-door version. And two-door convertible. And that is exactly what we are looking for. It needs to be premium, and it needs to be large, at least for the Gazmian market. The Frenian market really doesn't like the large cars, but then again we can live with that. And we are going to try to compromise a little bit, because this is so large. We want to sell it in Frenia too, and this large boot size doesn't make for a prestigious car necessarily. So just going with what we have here, I think. Two-door, and this will be our base model, and then we'll make a convertible out of it too. Straight off the bat, we are going for a monocoque solution with front longitudinal. We want to have rear-wheel drive one, best suspension setup, and also here we are going for full alloy. And that is still somewhat expensive, but we do want to have the prestige and a little bit of performance in there too. This is an interesting choice now. So what do you put into a premium vehicle? I think the V12 would be a little bit much, although that would certainly make sure that we don't drop in prestige rating too much. So we could go with a really cheap to make V12, just to have the numbers in there, and not go overboard with power and stuff. So yeah, let me try that. Otherwise, we could go with a V8, which is, of course, much cheaper and also reasonably smooth, at least in cross-plane, not in flat plane. So, yeah, might be a good option. But this is really tempting, especially for this body, which has such a long bonnet that we can make a long engine in there, and a longer an inline 6. A large inline 6 would of course work, and is really smooth, but the really simple, like old style, our company is almost by now known for its massive pushrod engines, and why not make this into that car too? We could have a little bit of a 4-liter V12 going in there. I think that sounds prestigious enough, doesn't it? 4-liter V12, that's larger than our hypercar engines. Well, still, we don't want to make too much power out of it, so we're choosing pushrod. And as we are selling so many cars of this, and they are caring a little bit more about the reputation than our other categories, maybe pushrod is a good idea. Ah, no, we still don't have catalytic converters in the freeway option. That is bad, because if we use it in a two-way converter, that takes so much power away. But then again, maybe we want to take power away. So let's just try that out and see how much it actually steals. First up, we want to rev it out, and our reliability rating is decent enough. Maybe we could even go with a... Let's see how much the cast iron helps us in reliability. Still quite a bit. Ah. Do we want that instead? But then again, the weight is massive compared to the alloy engine. So 242 versus 198. That's a lot of extra weight in the front there, making handling awful and so on. And with two-way cat, yeah, it's stealing about 25 horsepower right now. It's terrible. That is terrible. It's really bad. But then again, we would be safe for the normal buyer to not incur too much running costs on this thing. So it might be a consideration. Let's leave that one on for now. Or should we? It's really low power for such a big vehicle in 1977. Or is it low power? 152? Probably isn't. We are so out of touch nowadays with how much power is normal and not. So 91, and let's give it a little bit more cam. Now we stop knocking. This is a nice mid-range engine here, 164 horsepower. I think that's powerful enough. No, yeah, the full alloy version isn't that much worse, apart from in reliability. So engineering time for a full alloy engine isn't as bad as mixed materials because of the different expansion coefficients. So yeah, let's go with the alloy engine and make it somewhat reasonable in handling. Oh, we have a 4-gear automatic nowadays. No, that's good news. Oh, and look at that. We could go for luxury cassette, but then we get rid of all our tech pool. And I think that might be a little overkill here. Premium. Does that produce enough prestige is my question. We could go luxury here, but that is prohibitive for production volume. And we do want to spit out quite a few of them. On the other hand, this has much better stats overall. And it still doesn't add that much weight to the car. So maybe we go for luxury and premium for now. Definitely need power steering. And even this car will be known for its hydropneumatic suspension. We do need to invest the engineering time into making that work, because the bonuses for prestige vehicles are just so amazing. Right now we are scoring more in the premium commuter categories than we are in the premiums. So I shall try to optimize for those over here a little bit. So the main factor we have right here is that they care a lot about drivability and much less about sportiness, and we are somewhere in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just drop the front tire size so that we can get up a little bit here. Yep, we are. That is much better. And we do need either less stiffness in the rear for the sway bars. Oh, yep. That worked out just fine. And what more can we make? We can make this handle a little bit better by just adding camber all round. They have the money to change tires a few times. Oh, and also the brakes are still pretty terrible right now. That's good though. It's better to approach in this day and age from the bottom than it is from the top and trying to get better. So I think we need 3 pistons in the front. Alright, we are getting closer. The premium segment, though, seems to be in quite harsh competition. Maybe they really do want the luxury cassette. Oh yeah, they really like the luxury cassette. It's not calculating correctly now that I have chosen that, but see, yeah, our engineering time is going up a lot here. Right, so the thing here is again the seat problem, the seat balancing problem. If we go for a two-seater, which doesn't make much sense in this segment, then you get much higher scores. Of course, they should have a minimum seat count of 4 and not 2. But we are not going to arbitrarily just decline what the rules of the game are. So, well, we are going for a two-seater and just pretend that it is a four-seater and that it sells there because our competition does so too. And yeah, so what are we going to do about it? Just pretend everything is fine. Nothing to see here. Move on. Alright, this car at this markup is very available to all kinds of classes, but I think we went a little bit over top with the pricing of it, like the quality of interior and stuff, because if we up this a little bit, yes, we are doing very well in the luxury category, but in the categories we want to sell, that is already a bit off limits. 50% markup? Yeah, on the other hand, we are pretty much mass producing this stuff. So, and we are going to produce this in Achana where it's even cheaper. So I think we might want to go with about this here and then see how much we can push it down by just producing it efficiently. And well, this one we shall call the Dresden, as that was not a battleship. Oh, but rather a light cruiser. And there you could see that I have my audio foam right in front of the keyboard where I can see the keyboard. So the Dresden, yes. And this is our, do we want to go lower in this trim or not? No, this is our normal variant, our sedan variant. Oh well, so much about that idea. It seems like this body is bugged in that it doesn't have the appropriate flags set to be seen as a convertible. So what I'm going to do is just delete this variant and then we shall continue with just our sedan. For first production, that should do really well too. So now let's search for... Oh no! We can't build a factory in Achana just yet. That just unlocks in the 90s. I forgot about that. So then we build another one in Frenia, I think. Because then we have access to all the markets from there. Even though that's also a bug. But let's make use of it. And I think we want to go for a medium. That's expensive enough. And then buy a medium plot as well for the engine production. And that's a lot of upfront cost already. I like that. Okay, place a medium factory on there and we can build 62 cars a day or 118 for 1.2 billion. Ew, that is a lot of cost. Maybe not go that crazy at first. And just build a medium 2 factory, which is bad enough. 752, wow, 89 cars a day. And here we build, medium 1 is already massive. A small 3 doesn't really cut it, right? Nah, we have to go with a medium 1 here. And we can also lower it down. Average production costs going up, but we don't really care because otherwise we can't really afford this stuff. This is expensive. Anyway, this is what we have to settle for, and this is a little bit risky. I hope we are making enough money to really pay for that. And build times will be long as well, but not quite as long as the engineering. So over a longer time period we will be losing money there. And I hope that doesn't come with an economic downturn. That would be bad. Alright, yes, that is what I expected. As you can see, our production setup was such that we are saving quite a bit of money, and have at 50% markup have become really desirable in a lot of categories. So maybe we even want to mark it up to 70%, because I don't think we can sell that many cars. Let's see though, competitiveness, sales. Oh yeah, that's a lot of cars. Even the family premiums, 24 cars a day. Let's see how it's going in Florinia though. In Florinia, the market is much smaller, and yeah, still a decent amount of cars per day. GT segment, they really like those. Alright, if they enjoy those. And Ahana, basically none. Very good. So we don't have to care about that market then. So we are going to sell them in Florinia first, and then Ahana, and then in Gazmir. Well, sounds decent enough to me. I mean, send those 2 cars to Ahana each month. That's good enough, and then the rest to Gazmir, where we can sell everything, as you can see. This is an expensive product, though, as you can see, $1.3 billion. Certainly the biggest thing that Wilhelm McSpeck has done so far, but only 39 months of profit gathering in order to turn this into a net positive, and 35 million a month in profit projected at 70% markup. Alright, sign off. Alright, we paid the plot costs up front, and now we need to get in loads of money, and hopefully not that much that we are paying massive amounts of taxes. But that's why I started building it now, so that we have a whole year of production that just goes into feathering the massive income which we will get from the Kronprinz and the Wettin. And they are getting close to production too, so soon we will have a lot of costs for upgrading factories and stuff. Ah yes, and here's the correction which I was mentioning. That one was due. Let's see how deep it becomes. Minus 11%, minus 12. Oh, that's a pretty big correction. Oh yeah, minus 15%. That doesn't look too good then, if we have produced that many new cars into a massive downturn. But maybe it turns up until it really matters. So we're not paying taxes this year. That is good enough, even though we have made a lot of money overall. So invested it wisely. Oh, stop here. And let's take a look at our productions. The Westfalen is coming very soon, and we shall see its first month of sales, I think. Let's just forward to then. And here we go. Production is running. How much money do we get? Oh yes, nice. So we are making a monthly profit of almost 15 million with this one. And we are selling out completely right now. And the Wettin is still going strong. And it needs to continue to go strong for another... what? Another... Where's the date? For the Hockenheim, yeah. They until March 1980. Well, that's not that much longer. There's a factory upgrade in there too, up to the 3rd level of the factory, and yes, so sounds all good. And our sales, let's take a look. We are satisfying a lot of categories still, and the region economy. Ooh, now that's a downturn in Florinia. It's a bad downturn in Florinia. In Gazmir too, but I'm not so worried about this one. But I think in the next episode we shall see how this continues. Because currently the... oh no, it's feathering up a little bit, so I think the correction will be over soon. and it isn't quite as deep as a proper recession, or like it is a recession, but it's not a depression. So very good. I'm still happy with our current situation. We have a lot on the bank, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time.